episode of Grassroots Garage, we have part 2 with Koval. Now Michael's car might look quite similar, but a lot has changed since part 1. Koval took out roll racing last month against some very serious competition. And that should be an indication of just how quick this car is. And just as a side note, the PPG gearbox is still running the H pattern.
We are sitting in the TRP workshop. I'm very, very excited to be here, and we're sitting with Koval. Michael, thanks for your time, man.
Thank you.
Legend. Mate, tell us about your car.
Same car, Evo 6.
A little bit different.
I'm gonna say a little bit more horsepower than last time. Probably, I don't know. I don't even know what it had last time when I saw you. Maybe a lot more. a lot
That's what
more.
we like.
A
That's
lot
what we
more.
like.
Yeah, a lot more.
Yeah.
It's a lot faster than when we last met. It's yeah. I'll be very surprised if it's not, you know, one of Australia's fastest. If not, as soon as we get it out and actually maybe one day run a time with it, I'm pretty confident it will be very, very fast. Very fast. Yeah.
So sick.
Yeah.
Has it been on a dyno yet?
Not one that we can tell you a power.
Yep. Just to tune it and that?
Yeah, because from what we've done and then trying to get the power down on the dyno, it didn't work. And then every time we go out, it's been, you know, tinkered with, and it's nowhere near of what it was when it left the dyno, put it that way. So now we've gone to 15s, we got rid of the big brakes and we went the small Evo RS brakes.
Why did you do that? Just to get the bigger tyres?
Yeah, we got to a point where the 17s just wasn't enough for it. It needed that extra. So 15s, yeah, makes a difference. Definitely, you can tell.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's mad. And you've got the big. I noticed a big set of red scissors in the back there. What's going on with those?
That's just to keep it exciting, mate. You gotta keep it fun these days.
Oh, definitely. So with these new Mickey Thompsons, are you now, what's going to be the weak point now? If you've got these, you're just launching this thing, right?
Yeah, it still blazes the tyres pretty easy. We've got a few tricks up our sleeves to keep this car straight, and it's working really well. And it's, yeah, the tyres it's good. The bigger tyre actually saves the drivetrain more because it gives it a bit more slack.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
look at this.
You want to see what the real secret is?
Yes.
Right there.
What am I looking at? The spider's webs. He's our little mascot today. Hey, little mate.
Just remember, this is not built as no show car. It's meant to go fast, and it does it really well.
So sick.
Yeah. So now we've got a whole new turbo setup. We've got a Precision 76mm.
Yep.
We went up from the 67 which we had before. So new manifold, new wastegate, we redid the whole fuel system. Bigger everything, bigger lines, more pumps. What else? ECU. We've completely got rid of the EMS, so we've got the new Emtron KV8 in it now. So now we're running with the keypad and the dash. Very, very handy. Very handy. Whole new motor combo. How can I say? It's the best thing ever.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And this is built
It's
in-house at
in-house.
this crazy workshop.
Well, this setup, they've already proven over 1600 horsepower and over 200 miles. So in this car, you're just tickling it. It's
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah. So we're talking, like, start with the block and everything's going to be forged, billet, whatever you got.
Yeah, crank, pistons, rod, or custom TRP spec. So it's nothing off the shelf that you can buy. But you know, it's done and it's done right, and you know it's gonna last. Like, yeah, it's very, very good.
So sick.
Yeah.
And your gearbox is still
Still the same PPG.
H-pattern.
Yeah, H pattern.
Yeah.
No lockout shifters, no short shifters. OEM. Everything there is OEM other than the gear set inside.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sick. So when you say you've redone the fuel system, you got to run what, a couple of pumps, do you?
Yeah, well, it runs one lift pump and 3 external pumps.
And that's because when you're on it, you're dumping so much fuel in.
Well, we'll put it this way: the last roll racing, I think we did about 8 runs from full tank down to empty in 8 runs.
Dude.
Yeah.
So you just need a bit of fuel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It likes the juice.
Love that, man. What's your like usable area of revs? Where does it start to really hit on?
It depends on what button I press on the keypad, really. Like, we can have this anything from 4,000 to 11,000, and it will sing all night at 11,000. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's still a wet samp.
Yeah. Little screamer. So when you say it still wets up, that's custom though, right? Like, it's not a stock
No, we just got a bigger pan on it.
bigger pan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not dry.
And like an external oil pump, or
No, standard factory oil pump.
wow.
Yeah.
Sick.
Well, the way that these motors, they work really well. That's the thing, and they're very heavy duty from the factory. Just with a few tweaks, yeah, you can't go wrong.
Yeah. And tell me about this little blue item down here. What's going on with this little button here?
That's just a purge.
Yeah.
Let's just get the air out of the nitrous line.
So is it on? It's just part of the Emtron. It just decides when it's going to give you a bit of NOS.
Yeah, I've got how can I say, the ECU is so advanced. Like, it depends on. I change it. How can I say? Not every run is the same. So I might run a slower car. I'll never push it to the full horsepower to run a slower car. So I'll just pick a different setting. You want it to last as long as possible. You never run it at 100% if you don't need to. So, yeah, the nitrous and all that's all controlled through the Emtron. Like, I've got many different settings. I can use it as just like a anti-lag spool thing. I can spray it all the way. I can spray it in different gears. The sky's the limit with that ECU. It just works. There's no false engine protection. Like, I hear of some other ECUs where you'll get an engine protection halfway through the run and the car will go into limp mode. You come back, you check the logs, and it's all good. You won't ever get that with the Emtron. It's been over a year since I've had it, and every time it came on, it was something like it works. It's so good. The way it works is so fast and so accurate. Yeah. It's worth it spending that little bit extra.
Sick. And was that something that your tuner? Can't see that, but has sort of steered you to course, because here he is over here. Here he is. He's coming the other way. I was just talking. So when you say Emtron, this is your sort of computer of choice now. Are you going with the Emtrons?
Yeah, basically every car in here's got an Emtron.
Okay. Yeah. They're easy to work on. What made you choose them?
It's just a top level ECU. It just does everything we want it to do.
Sick.
And we don't have issues.
Beautiful. Yeah. I'll ask you all that again later, man, if that's all right with you. And so you're getting all this amazing data from the events you're going to.
Yeah, like this ECU in the car it does everything. Like, we can see exactly what the car's doing, what it likes, what it doesn't like, and where we need more power, where we need to take out power, where we need more traction. It's magical. It's like you got like a Formula 1 ECU in a street car. It's just
interior still looks the same.
Very similar, yeah. So we've got the new dash now.
Oh yes, of course.
New dash, and we've got the keypad underneath it.
Where am I looking for the keypad? Down next to yep, got it. So that's where you're selecting
different modes and what you want it to do, and depending on how fast the car is next to you. Yeah.
Yeah, so if you pull up next to something you know is just fairly stock, you just give it a nice easy run through the gears. But then when you turn up next to something like those last couple of runs last week when you're roll racing, you're putting it in, just giving it everything.
Oh man, I think the last roll racing, every run was pretty much like an 8-second car. It was insane. It was wild, which makes it more fun. Like, there's no point going out there building all this, fast car and going out and racing slow cars and winning it. Like, you don't get the same achievement at the end, because you having a hard race every single race, like 6 races in a row, it shows you that the car is not a one-hit wonder. You know what I mean? It's not here to win one event and see you later. It's as you've seen, it's been out here for like 3-4 years doing the same thing. It's always there. Like, but now we've got to a stage where we've got this total package for it. It just, everything works. Like, there might be more powerful cars, or there's so many cars now with sequential gearboxes. Like, this is still a H pattern. That's the thing that's kind of slowing it down, but it kind of keeps it exciting as well, because no one wants to lose to a H pattern at the end of the day. It's
definitely, man. Yeah. So it's the Evo, like bell housing and all of that, and then you pull out the gears and you
just pull out the guts and put the PBG in there and put it back in.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Yep. You sort of clutch it between. It's a dog box, right? So
you don't have to. I kind of do, depending on, if it's a really, really close race, then I might not, but otherwise I do, just to save the life of everything, you know what I mean? RMV mechanical for the catch can.
Ryan from RMV, that's sick.
Yeah, nice quality work there.
Nice. Here's the big one for you, man. You've won Lotto, you've got all the money in the world, you can have any other toy you want. But what are we doing to Koval on that unlimited budget?
Man, there's not really. The only thing that is really lacking is just a faster gearbox. And once PBG make their sequential, it will go in there. We'll do probably like a paddle shift in it. Other than that, man, it's very hard to. I don't know.
Yeah, there's not much you can change, really.
You can probably like pretty it up or whatever, but man, it does what it does, and it does it good. Oh, maybe a new wiring harness, but like
like a full motorsport wiring.
Yeah, but I can do that whenever I want anyway. So yeah.
But if there's no gremlins,
why change it if it's working?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
so sick. All right, so on that unlimited budget, let's pretend this is your shed now. You've won Lotto, you've got Koval. What else are we parking in that garage?
I don't know, probably just like the same car in different colours, maybe.
Love that. Yeah, one for Monday, one for Tuesday. So what's the latest? What's been going on with GFB lately?
Oh man, we've been flat out we've been on a humongous growth for the last 3 years, and the last year we've been, we're finally keeping up. Like, it's so busy for us. It's really good because we manufacture everything here. So when we do get busy, we can just hire more workers or get the machining guys to work back an extra few days or extra few hours to try to catch up. That has helped us big time. But we've grown so much in the last few years, and hopefully we just keep at it and go. And we've got some pretty big plans coming out for the next year or so. Watch this space.
Ooh, yeah. So we want to shout out GFB who've looked after the car. We want to talk about PPG who are helping out. Who else do we need to give our love to?
So
Motul,
you always with the dog box now, you have to run a really good oil. With the engine, you have to run a really good oil to withstand it all. Motul, always run Motul fluids, gearbox, divs, engine. Plazmaman. We use all the Plazmaman clamps, the intake manifold. Like before, we used to pop a clamp here and there, whereas with this new setup, never. Like, you go out, you never even have to think about it ever again.
Yeah, those days of the old silicon piping and blowing
that's
the little hoses.
That's 90s stuff, man. That's old. We do a lot of testing with this car for GFB as well. Like, we add the new race blow valve. I don't know if it's under the bar, but like we did a lot of testing for that valve on this car, make sure everything works. and then
So you're telling me there's some secret new product hiding under here?
it's been out probably like
Ooh,
a couple
yeah.
months.
I see
but
it.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Very compact.
Yeah.
It's smaller than the competition. It actually outflows all the competition brands as well, which is
Sick.
really good.
Yep.
We're very happy with that.
That's good, man. I mean, what better testing could you have to put this thing? You're pushing this car as hard as a car can be pushed.
That's right. Like there's not many other people that I know that run the amount of boost that I do and get raced so often as well. Like when we make these new products, it's like, man, who can we use to actually give the products a really good test? And it's, man, this is the best thing for it.
100%. Sick. I mean, let's go real quickly. We'll just sneak through it because we've got it once before. If you want to go back and watch the original app, that's some of my best work back then. We'll go through it real quick. Tell us a couple of the car highlights of the cars you've owned over the years.
Oh man, where do I start now? I think even in the last few years, from the last video, I've probably owned so many more cars.
Yeah.
I don't know at the moment. I've got a 35, very nice family car, like nice cruisy big boot. The little one loves it. I don't know if you saw, I got the Lotus Exige. That's
Is that your car? Yeah, that's sick. That's a metal car.
How can I say it? You drive that and it's like nothing you've ever driven. It just feels like a little tin can that looks like $1 million. Like but it's so slow.
What is it? It's 4-cylinder turbo?
It's 4-cylinder. It's a 2ZZ Toyota motor.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
You've got all the exotic looks, but you've got the Toyota reliability and budget. Like you blow a motor, go and buy a Toyota Celica and pull the motor out and throw it in. Like it's cheap.
The last meeting at Roll Racing, there were so many serious cars there, and Koval came out on top.
Yeah.
And you're talking about cars with sequentials, with all the gear.
autos. These are like all like 8-second cars with like over 170 mile, and it beat everyone. It was I think the first 1 or 2 races that you win, people will probably be like, oh, maybe the other guy stuffed up or whatever. But then you get the 3rd and 4th and 5th and 6th and 7th. And then towards the end, even the last race, I know a lot of people came up to me like, man, there's no way we would have thought you would have beaten that car. The H pattern is the hardest to drive out of all of them. You know what I mean? Like the auto, a lot easier. Sequential, man, you flick a few times and see you later. Whereas this, you still have the, hopefully I don't put it back into first gear or miss a gear or do whatever. But once you get the hang of it, it's pretty simple. Like it's second nature.
Sick, man. So that's part 2 with Koval. You'll have to stay tuned for part 3 because his car I don't have favourites, but I tell you what, this thing is an absolute weapon and I love it. Michael, thanks for your time, man.
Nice, thank you.
You're a legend.
That wraps up this episode of GRG, and as always, if you like what we're doing with the GRG project, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to all the socials. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for the next one.